everyone, to episode 3 of the Barreling to Diamond. And we're back on the climb, and this time around, we'll be playing Irelia. And now, Irelia is one of the most high skill cap barrel laners in Wild Rift. She's honestly like, if you're a good Irelia player, then you will dominate games all by yourself. And if you're not, then you're gonna have a very hard time. Uh, as for the gameplay that I have for you guys here today, it's a mix of uh, me struggling. Like it was this game that I played was not the best from my side, but eventually I got the ball rolling. I started contributing very well into the game. But at first in the early game, I was really struggling, and it was also due to my own errors that costed me the setback that I had to face in the early game. But with that being said, let's keep it short and simple. We'll go into the build path to discuss what to run on Irelia. Personally, I start off with the Blade of the Ruin King. Most of the people I've seen in solo queue tend to go Divine Senders first, but I just prefer the Blade of the Ruin King because the sustain, the slow, the ability to just, have the gap closing ability on any of the champion that you like latch on to. You just like this item really helps with the sustain, and it's a perfect starter item, I believe. Like if you feel like you're confident enough to get kills, then you should run Blade of the Ruin King as first. If you feel like you're gonna be in a tight matchup where it's not certain you're gonna get the kill, so you just take Divine Sunder and use the defensive stats of it effectively and survive in the lane phase. Moving on from those two items, I like to take Boots of Tenacity, not tenacity, sorry, mercury treads. Yeah, mercury treads provides the tenacity. Yeah, that's what I was wanting to say. Mercury treads provides tenacity, which it is good on Irelia because as Irelia, you want to be as slippery as possible. Like you want to make sure that you don't get caught by the enemy team CC that gets launched at you, because when you jump in with Irelia, you make your presence felt, and at that time, the only thing the enemy team could think of is to shut you down. Now, the enchantment that I usually go on Irelia with this Murky Treads, I tend to take Zonias because usually when I jump into the enemy team, I'm very far away from my own teammates, so they usually have to gap close for me, and due to that reason, I have to like buy time for them, and I cannot do that if 10,000 CC gets launched at me. So I jump in and I Zonias immediately, just buy enough time for my team to get closer to me. So when I come out of the Zonias, I start jumping onto members and shredding down the squishy targets. So I think like yeah, Zonias is a perfect item, but if you feel like you're feeling a bit more dangerous with yourself, if you're feeling like that you can get away with a lot of the things, then you can take Proto Belt. It's another dash to your kit, and it's just perfect for you. Or if you feel like there's a lot of CC that's gonna get launched at you from a distance, then you just take the Quicksilver enchant and just block all of it and continue with your engage. So yeah, I would say the three best enchants you could run on Irelia would be Zonias or slash Stasis, whatever you want to call it. It's Stasis in Wilder, but it's Zonias in League PC. A Proto Belt if you want to gap close, if you feel like you can take duels effectively, or Quicksilver enchant if you feel like you're playing against a high range CC comp. Hmm. Now, as the third item, this Death's Dance is a core item. I believe Death's Dance is like your mid game power spike, which really turns Irelia into a unkillable machine. Like when you get these three items, the Blade of the Ruin Kings, Divine Thunder, and Death's Dance, you're in a prime position to carry. If you're like anyone that comes up against an Irelia with these three items, you're bound to lose the duel because Irelia itself does a lot of basic damage, and with these three items, she has a lot of sustain and shredding power to her kit. And now the last two items are situational. They can be back and forth. Like if you can run this combination or you can do this, depending on the situation. If you feel like there's a high chance that you're gonna get killed in team fights, then you take Guardian Angel just to have a bit more survivability, and you can be in fights for an extended period of time. if you feel like that you're gonna survive the engage and you just need to be a little bit tanky and you need to just like need a base like you don't need that much survivability, like you're fine with it, then you can take Starix Gauge as well. Personally, I like to take Guardian Angel as the fourth item and then I finish off with the Starix. Now on to the runes. Now the runes, I think this is the best combination honestly you can run. Like I don't see any alternatives. Conquer again, the best rune. Like it's there's not much you can say about the runes except in the next patch when we get the newer rules that are getting added to the game, the Kraken, Slayer, the Lethal Tempo, all of that. I'll be trying to make videos on that as well. I'm gonna try to implement them into the series as well, just to see how they feel like it. I'm gonna try playing with some champions with it, and if I find a certain champion effective with the new rules, I'm gonna make a video about it. Yeah. So Conqueror, Brutal, Hunter Titan, and Hunter Genius. Hunter Genius, why you take it? Because every you get like ability haste. You need ability haste on Irelia. Like the amount of resets you get with the Q when you kill a minion or a target with the Q, then you get a reset. So in case if you miss a reset, if you have Hunter Genius stacks, then this really just allows you to like have low cooldowns and you can constantly engage and disengage and just have this freedom of spamming abilities on Irelia. So yeah, that's it for the runes and spells. I don't think I need to go any further. This is ignite and ignite. Oh wait, why are they? Yeah, ignite and flash are the two basic runes. So nothing more to add to that. With that being said, let's get into the gameplay. All right, and on to the gameplay we go. So team comps. Let's run team comps. On our side, we have at Irelia top, Graves jungle, a Pantheon mid, and a Shen and Jin bot lane. Followed up by the opposing team running Nasus top, Yasuo mid, Kha'Zix jungle, and Lucian Malphite bot lane. The Malphite pick is, I think, more to complement the Yasuo's ultimate, and it's just a pick designed to help the Yasuo. Honestly, that's the only purpose I see behind it. And so, yeah, lane phase, I'm against a Nasus. So, against a Nasus, like, amount of gameplays I've had to make against Nasus players, uh, at this point, it's just repeated, just bully them. This is the only place that I see how to beat a Nasus, just bully them. And now you can see these type of plays that I just did there, jumping in onto the champion in tight positions can cost you a lot, especially in the early game. If you die like this, then you're gonna be very far behind. And I almost got punished for it. Luckily, if it was some other champion, then I was 100% dead in that case. And that's just the kit of Irelia. Irelia is super slippery in the early game. So yeah, right now, I'm just shoving out the waves and just maximizing my pressure. But the thing is, I'm not playing something like Camille, which champion has like a long range of CC and stuff. Oh, and I force out the flash with my ignite from Nasus. Now you're gonna see a very, very reckless play from me. This was like a complete tilter from my side. I overthought the play and I got killed by the turret before the Nasus could even get the stack on me. So this was like a blessing in disguise for me. But overall, a very bad play from my side, putting me behind 0-1 on the scoreline. But it was an execute, so no one got the goal, luckily. So yeah, not the best start to my lane, but we move. Uh, I'm gonna get this overlay up. I think this is the overlay I need to show it for this game because yeah. So right now you can see I have no summoners. I have only one or two items. If we focus on the Nasus, Nasus hasn't backed away yet, so he's like still low on mana and he's still using his first item. He was just trying to bait me at this point, and I was just trying to, I was just seeing the range of my first kill, seeing how if I could gap close on him, because I knew if I did so, I'd get the kill on him. But he kept getting out of range, and it was very annoying for me. So I just kept shoving the wave, and I just went in, just tried to bully him back, like don't come near me. Uh, so yeah, the wave's getting shoved. He's gonna get a few stacks out of this, and so I just see if I can get a plant. But then I see a random Kha'Zix waiting for me in the bush. I engage on him, but unfortunately, uh, Kha'Zix has too much damage. He has his ultimate up, and I was in an isolated position, so he was able to proc his passive. So now I'm sitting at 0-2. It's a 0-2 score line, not the best one. Despite my teammates doing well, I'm struggling personally. And but that will not be the case for the whole game though. You will see me get back online in this game, uh, but just not right now in this early game. Which is why I really wanted to upload this. Like I don't want to make this channel that I'll only upload the wins in the games where I'm destroying the opponents. I want to upload good quality games where you can see and learn that even in matches where I'm creating content, I can uh struggle. So this is like a lesson you could learn on how to come back from the back foot on Irelia. And so now seeing in that awkward position that I am right now, so I'm just trying to freeze the wave, force the Nasus out, and I completely all in him. And at this point, don't expect to win this, but I'm just committing to the play. And look at my damage! I get the kill, and I just flash out to safety. Despite getting killed twice, I just managed to solo kill the Nasus. Like Nasus has been free farming, and he got an assist earlier against me, and I still managed to solo kill him. So yeah, he didn't use his ghost or ultimate, which was a bit questionable. I think if he did use his ultimate, then maybe I wouldn't have survived that play. And yeah, I'm recalling in a push where the enemy has vision. Nice. Right. So now I see that my jungler has taken the Herald and he's already deployed in mid lane. It has already crashed against the wall. So I decide to roam up top and see if I can, just impact the other areas of the map. And I thought after that solo kill, I don't expect the Nasus to help me, and I just collapsed on this Kha'Zix and just helped my teammates. And I just see the opportunity. I go in on the Lucian. I almost grab the kill, but Malphite uses his ultimate to stop me, and I just have to back away. Meanwhile, my team just cleans up the Yasuo, juggling the damage completely, and we just pick up the Drake. Uh, so now I'm thinking by the time I get down here, I'll probably lose a lot of plates and a lot of gold. So I just decide to, to target this first turret. I'm pinging this up right now. This is being pinged from my side, but now I'm expecting that if you're pinging me to get this turret, I would expect my teammates to help me alongside to get this, but that's not the case. Anyhow, Yasuo comes around and look at my damage. I'm still doing a lot. Yasuo wind walls my ultimate, but he oh my god, I still get killed for it. And Nasus gets the first turret. So yeah, once again I'm on the back foot. What the Yasuo did correctly was he pinballed my ultimate, so I was I wasn't able to completely dish out all of my damage, and Kha'Zix got there and he really ruined my whole plans of getting the turret and the kill on the Yasuo. And alongside that, I got killed, and the Nasus grabbed the first turret. Now, at this stage, I remember in the game, I was just very tilted. I was typing in chat and telling my team why was no one helping me alongside to get this objective. And what the Graves did was he just cleared out my wave. So I was just mega tilted at this point, and I cannot be bothered to help them in mid after what happened to me. So I just now this is not the right mindset, I would say, or if you want to really want to climb, this is not the right mindset. But in that heat of the moment, I did not react properly, and I just focused solely on getting myself ahead, and I just did that by grabbing the skill, grabbing the turret. Sorry, not the kill. I got the turret, I cleared the wave, and I just backed away. So yeah, not if you look at the scoreboard, I'm on 1-3-1 scoreline. Still not the best, but I'm still, I would say I can still kill a lot of the players
Enemy
on the enemy
turret
team. I can
destroyed.
still one-shot the Lucian, the Yasuo, perhaps even the Nasus in some cases. So now I'm just once again roaming because I know there's no point in split pushing. The moment I come split push, the Nasus is gonna come back. He's gonna slow me down. So I'm just looking to roam around the map and perhaps set up a flank. And, and with that being said, I'm pulling off the biggest flank of my life. I see the Malphite and I'm just screaming, please don't jump on me, please don't jump on me. I see Kha'Zix and at this point the enemy team could have collapsed on me because I was so split away from my teammates, but luckily they did not. And I'm just looking for an entry, and I use the stun, but I miss it completely, and I flash over the Yasuo from the Kha'Zix jump, avoiding the damage. And look at how much damage everyone's taking from my ultimate. The true damage proc from my
Turret
ultimate, just helping
slain.
my teammates grab all the kills. I at this point I'm doing my job as a teammate just to help them out, and at this point we are so in sync. My team was so well coordinated with this play, and we managed to grab an ace. You know, this is solo queue, by the way. This is like, I didn't expect the solo queue team to be this well coordinated. Although I felt like the Graves, Shen, and Jin felt like a trio to me because the Graves repeatedly ganked bot lane, so I was assuming they're probably a trio. But uh, I checked afterwards. They were none of them were like together. I checked their match histories. So yeah, like it was very fortunate for me that I've had this team with me that was so well in sync around objectives. Look at around this area, we're setting up for objectives, and I just collapse on the Nasus here. Meanwhile, my Graves is doing the Herald. My
Your
Graves
team
gets
has
the
slain
Herald.
the Rift
I
Herald.
get the Blade of the Ruin King proc, but the Nasus flashes away. So I just immediately turn around and I just see, and then Kha'Zix jumps on it. I jump onto the blue buff. I use the stun and try to get the kill on him, but the Shen grabs the kill on the uh, Kha'Zix, and again the Malphite ultimate just
Champion
shuts me
slain.
down. This was not the best game for me. Jin misses his fourth shot completely, and meanwhile Pantheon tries to get a kill on the Lucian, but the Lucian dashes away. So once again, just a one for one trade, jungler for Baron laner. I'm just not having a good game at this point, you're thinking. But there will be a time when I'll turn this around. So I'm sitting at a 2-4-5 score line now. Again, not the best, but I feel like I'm still very strong in the game. My
Enemy has
team
slain the
luckily
dragon.
picks up the Infernal Dragon, and the Pantheon just
Enemy
one shots
slain.
the uh, Kha'Zix. Meanwhile, on the other side, I'm just clearing out this huge bot
Turret
wave,
has
which
slain.
helps me get a lot of the gold. Meanwhile, my team is just doing a good job trying to get the kills, but the
Ally
Jin falls.
slain.
The Graves tries to 1v2 the Yasuo and Nasus. Unfortunately, he has to come back at a much safer position, and you see Malphite Nasus, and they're all here in this area.
Unstoppable.
Graves catches the kill on the on the Yasuo, and
Victory.
meanwhile the
Ally
Nasus falls to the
slain.
Pantheon, but the Malphite
Shut
is
down.
just too tanky. He's gonna pick
Ally
up the kill, and
slain.
meanwhile I just show up out of
Shut
nowhere
down.
and help him out, and
Top
Shen
turret
just
is under
decides to
attack.
take the kill from me. Yeah, Shen took the kill from me. I see the Lucian come up so aggressively. I'm like, what is he doing? What does he want to die? And I
You
just
have
grab
slain
a
an
free kill on
enemy.
the Lucian, and I see Kha'Zix come around as well. I just jump onto him as well. I use the stun, I time it well. Kha'Zix goes invisible, but I predict my ultimate and I just
You have
throw it
slain
straight
an
and
enemy.
gets caught into it, and another kill for me.
Enemy
So
turret
despite
destroyed.
being 2-4 up, I still managed to pick up two kills, and suddenly this scoreline doesn't look so bad anymore. It's that easy on Irelia if you're just farming well and you're using your abilities at the right time. So at this point, the game is just in a very odd state. Like, no, not an odd state, but it's like we're ahead, but then we're just not consistently ahead, I'd say. Uh, so I see our Jin is a bit overextended over here in the top lane, which you can see he's gonna get caught out eventually. He's trying his best to survive. He's survived for a quite a long time, but you can see the cavalry is here. So immediately try to see the first target I can jump onto. I try to go on the other targets, but I first take out the Lucian. I use my ultimate effectively. I stun the multiple members. Yasuo flashes away. Phantom picks him off, and I just try to jump onto the Lucian on the Malphite, and I take him down. I use the Zhonya's to avoid the Q damage from Kha'Zix, and I try to chase him down, but unfortunately he just gets away. He gets out of range, and I just come back to clear the wave. So overall, we did a great turnaround. We did a 4-for-3 trade, completely in our favor. It was very effective from us. Kha'Zix jumps onto us again, and he tries to grab a kill or two. I re-engage onto him, and Shen taunts him up. I ignited him just to add a bit more damage, and Shen cleans it up. I see Yasuo coming here to grab a few kills. I use the blast cone to escape, and I survive. Meanwhile, I just stick around to see if my Shen needs backup because he helped me get away, and so I felt like I should be there to help him out as well. Meanwhile, the Malphite engages onto the graves, and I use my ultimate, and I decide to re-engage, and look how much I have survived. I survived for so long. For such a long period of time, despite being so low, I survived and I managed to get involved in two kills before falling down. Actually, even three because I jumped onto all three of them. Meanwhile, on the other side, Nasus is trying to take down our Jin, but luckily our teammates show up in time. Shen is such an abusive champion. Like, this champion really ruins the fun of 1v1ing the opponents. And Kha'Zix tries to get something back, but he just has to back away. Meanwhile, on the other side, the dragon's coming up, and our Graves is pinging for Baron. Now, I spawn in 5 seconds. So my team is doing Baron, and so I thought, what's better what I should do instead? I should just go and set up around this ocean drake, expecting that I could start this up by myself and perhaps uh, wait for my team to get there in time, and so we can finish it off. But clearly, that was not the case. Uh, None of my teammates would get there in time, so I just clear out this wave, and I tried to go for a risky play, but I knew it was a bit late anyway, but I just go for it anyway. The Kha'Zix uses flash, and oh, my ultimate was short from just a few seconds. I force out so many ultimates, flashes, and summoners from the enemy team with my engage, and which eventually helps my team get a lot of more kills. And yeah, so overall, a worth play. Despite giving up the Ocean Drake, I managed to help my team get a lot of the kills, and my team goes here and grabs another kill on the Nasus. And overall, just I'm just being a utility carry at this point. I'm not doing the hyper 1v9 carry duty. I'm just being a provider for the team. You can see I have around 15 assists, like 5 kills, 5 deaths, and 15 assists. I'm just providing for my team here in this game. Despite this shocking, okay, I re-engage here. I try to get a kill. I get the kill on the Lucian, but unfortunately, I don't have enough damage to pick off the Yasuo. The Jin tries to follow up and clean up for the Yasuo, but he gets taken down for it from the Malphite and Kha'Zix. Meanwhile, Shen is just abusing the Baron buff and getting the turret. Look how many empowered cannon minions we had with the Baron, and it's just so much shredding. Smart play by the team overall, just utilizing the Baron buff very effectively. So yeah, we're in a prime position to take this game, but despite all of that, like despite my horrendous early game, I feel like uh I think despite of my horrendous early game, I felt like this game was already certain for us to win because of how well I was farming and how well I was rotating at the right time. Uh, so I knew that regardless of how bad I played in the early game, I was gonna be effective in the late game. So once again, the enemy team re-engages on the Graves and they pick him off. I try to grab the Yasuo. I throw my ultimate here and it goes wide, and it just I am stuck between four people. I try my best to escape. I use the dash, I use the stun, but the Yasuo knockup takes me down. And unfortunately, I get taken down. But meanwhile, my team just goes back and they're gonna go and kill them up.
Bottom turret is
And
under
looking
attack.
at the state of the game, I
Enemy
think this is
slain.
lights out for the enemy team.
Killing spree.
We do a good job of pushing them back, and despite me getting caught out,
Bottom
my
turret
team
is under
manages to
attack.
pick off everyone else. And with that being said, we
First
would
blood
close
soon.
out the game, but unfortunately, the minion wave is not in our favor. And the damage potential on the threat, the damage potential on the Nasus and Kha'Zix was enough for us to just to back away. The teammates weren't confident enough to end it, so we did not. I thought it should have ended here at this point, but clearly that was not the case. Once again, everyone thinks for the Baron. Shen has already started up for himself, which is a bit risky. If you get caught around that area, then it's not good. So yeah, we can see there's gonna be another fight. Just the amount of boards look around this area. I knew the enemy team would not give this up by themselves, and just look. This is a very tight choke point, and yeah, the fight gets sets up, and
Ally
I
slain.
use my ultimate. I get two members down, and they take down the
Enemy
Yasuo. I jump onto the
slain.
Malphite. I take the Malphite
You
down.
have
I
slain
try
an
to jump
enemy.
onto the Lucian, and unfortunately, once again, I'm not able to close the gap. I just back away
Legendary.
instead of tanking a lot of the turret shots. Yeah, but with that being said, this is where we close out the game in a convincing fashion with a convincing score line. And yeah, that'll be it. Uh, Overall, a game which
Victory.
had ups and downs from my side. Overall, it may have been a very one-sided game, but I there were ups and downs from my side, and luckily I still came out on top and got the win. We ended up with a score line of 7-7-17. The overall kill score was 43 to 18. If you look at the damage stats, I still managed to do the most damage in the entire game. I did the highest damage in the entire game despite not having the best performance in the early to mid game. I definitely ramped up in the late game and managed to show up and like just overall, Irelia is a very strong champion and I wouldn't say it's very easy to pick her up. But I think if you give her the right amount of time, then she is one of the strongest picks you can have in your arsenal. And I guess with that being said, thank you guys for watching. That's it for the episode 3. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content in the future. Goodbye.